Hey guys, this is going to be my last video for the night. I thought I'd give you an update because we're kind of waiting for Bitcoin to correct right now, right? But it's just taking so long right now. And the main reason, this video is for an update, by the way, for our top 6 coins that I usually track, which is Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, excuse me there, I burped, Ripple, EOS, and also Neo. So we've bounced heavily, as you guys saw, off of the 7,200 range, right? That was a very nice bull run that we got with some massive volume, really nice impulsively moving upwards. But now what we're seeing on Bitcoin is we're seeing a really ugly candle on a 4-hour, okay? On the 4-hour, it actually formed a shooting star candle. The shooting star candle is very implicative that over the next few, a little bit time period rather, it's gonna end up correcting because the bulls have tried to push it up heavily, but they were simply rejected to the upside. And the bears took their profit, they entered short positions, whatever they did, right? So because Bitcoin wants to correct further, in my opinion, I do believe that we're gonna correct to roughly 8,000 to maybe 7,900 range at most. Just around those specific ranges, like right around here, maybe like 7,900 even, but 7,900 to 8,000 range is a key number for Bitcoin to be correcting. We look at Bitcoin's 30-minute MACD and it's about to cross over, right? So it looks like it's basically just about to cross over right now. So not too much of a crossover, but nevertheless it is one. So let's look at Litecoin now as well. We see Litecoin on a daily chart with a very decent candle. It got a very nice hammer candle. We're at the end of the formation. This could very well be an A, B, C, D, and E triangle pattern that's coming down because I count a lot of 3, 3, 3, 3, 3 subwave structures in here. So if Bitcoin does end up correcting, right? I mean, we look at the 4-hour candle as well now, okay guys? The 4-hour candle actually rejected the 21 moving average here with the shooting star. So that's also very implicative that it seems like it's going to be correcting. Now, if I just take our Fibonacci here, we do our Elliott waves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 going upwards, okay? We see there's 5 waves very clearly for this impulse one. Now we take our Fibonacci extension, right? So let me just get it up here right now. Take our Fib extension and a very likely target if Bitcoin does correct. Keep in mind that the things that I'm saying are not set in stone, right guys? These are just guidelines to add to your technical analysis. Just because I say it doesn't mean it's going to happen, right? This is just a basic and very general type of technical analysis. So if Bitcoin corrects to there, we could be looking at a Litecoin correction anywhere between 147 to $152, right? We're also starting to see the MACD crossover over here already. Let's just see how far this is actually going to carry us and see if this goes down further. We're seeing it, just definitely downtrending in my opinion, but it could be a bearish flag, right? Could be a bearish flag where it comes down just to around these regions, or it could just break up, guys. Like simple as that. We simply don't know. If Litecoin ends up breaking above, say, the 160 range, right? 160 range, that's obviously a very key number because it's outside of this particular pattern right here. That could be a very well be A, B, C, D, E type of corrective pattern. So I'm kind of waiting for Litecoin to break above 160 or correct to 147 to 150 range before I go into a long position here. We look at the lower time frame and it's probably leveling out, I'm guessing. Yeah, it's starting to level out on the top end. It could be forming like a bullish flag though, keep in mind, right? All of these patterns right now could eventually just form some bullish flag where this is the flagpole, right? And it just goes something like that and then it ends up breaking out near the end. So Litecoin's looking bullish as well, but we've had a big uptrend. We got to come to expect that it's now time for a correction phase. Ethereum bounced back heavily today. I'm very proud of Ethereum. Okay, Ethereum completely got out of the dust. It was in extremely oversold zones. It actually ended up forming a more bearish candle than bullish candle, but nevertheless it's still a hammer. We're still in very oversold regions for Ethereum on a daily chart and on the 12-hour chart as well, right? Super bearish still. At 6-hour it looks like it wants to cross over, but it might not be till much later in the day. when Bitcoin finishes its correction and then ends up going upwards. If we look on the 30-minute chart, we can easily count these 5 waves, right? We can count 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So let's say that Bitcoin does correct further, right? If Bitcoin does correct further, this one could easily as well just perhaps trend to the lowest end. I'm thinking like $506 on the absolute lowest end to the 0.5 fib level. But don't get me wrong, it can still go lower, right? 494. It's just a matter of using laddering and dollar averaging techniques, right? And I'll be sure to give you guys an update as we actually get closer to the end of the correction phase. This way I can give you more accurate estimates of what's going on. NEO recovered very nicely on the 3-hour chart, for example. Okay, it recovered very nicely from bouncing from extremely oversold regions. We take a look over here as well. What we simply see is that it's reaching oversold zones, or it was rather, but it's recovering slightly nicely. You know, it's not in oversold zones as much anymore. It's over 30 at least. Recovered with a very decent hammer candle where it bounced from $51 to $66, which is a really, really nice gain. So you know, we never know, right? Bitcoin may never even end up correcting the way that I want it to. And if it doesn't even correct, this could be a very bullish pattern. If it's that bullish, then you know, it's pretty funny that how we're expecting it to correct, but it's not correcting quite yet, right? We look at the 12-hour chart on Bitcoin, it's got like a doji already that's signaling a reversal, but it doesn't always mean that it's going to reverse. We still have a lot of time left, right? The 6-hour on Bitcoin, like I'm just trying to make it clear right now that it's not 100% guarantee that we're going to correct, right? I'm more so just identifying key support zones for you guys. But if you look on NEO 6-hour, you actually see a shooting star here already, right? It's looking very nasty in my opinion. So, you know, if we end up correcting, let's just see where NEO could actually get to. Let's actually see if it made 5 impulsive waves up. Yeah, it made 5 beautiful impulsive waves up here. Okay, so NEO's kind of doing the exact same thing, you can say. Just call that point up there. Like, is that ABC already, right? Or is it just making a, you know, some sort of flag pattern? That would be really cool if it did, and then it breaks outwards, right? So if NEO is still, assuming that Bitcoin is still correcting as well, if that one does end up correcting, we could see NEO reach to the lower end, like $57. So it's a fairly wide range, right? We're just targeting about the 382 and the 0.65 fib level for most coins there. Then we dollar cost average as it gets lower to a point that we believe it will bounce off of. A really hard support is around the $54 range. So it has recovered fairly decently, right? Unlike Ethereum, where got a pretty bearish candle there for the day. So EOS, taking a look at it quickly, got a very nice doji or dragonfly doji type of candle. Bounced all the way from 338 all the way up to about 475 there. So that's a really big recovery for EOS there. We're still in oversold zones right now though, okay? So please remember that. We're in extremely oversold zones still. We're under the 30, right? We're just waiting for it to level off right here. 12-hour chart gave a nice doji there as well. We're going to see if we can actually end up crossing over. Will it cross over eventually right here? If it does, fantastic. And if it goes to the positive side, even better, right? But because Bitcoin's still correcting, we really don't know how that's going to get. The 30-minute MACD is about to cross over right here. That's kind of the lowest that I'll really look on a time frame for you guys. We see 5 waves easily going up here as well on EOS. Okay, basically every coin is doing some sort of 5-wave structure that's impulsively moving upwards. If we just take our Fibonacci right here, we can see that it can get to roughly on the very low end is where the support was that I've been identifying from a while back, which is 420. That's kind of the lower end that it can get to. But of course, realistically, it could fall anywhere between 445 and 442. It's just a matter of making sure that we dollar cost average as best as we possibly can. So yeah, it's still oversold in 4-hour. Okay, it bounced back very heavily, really decent recovery. But it's that shooting star, guys, that we're getting on every single time frame right now, or for every single chart for 4 hours and up, right? Yeah, so Ripple is actually recovered very nicely as well. It bounced off of the support region I identified before at a 56 cents range or so. Okay, I'm actually getting pretty fast at these 10-minute ones. We haven't really reached extremely oversold zones, but what we did reach it's actually it's holding up a lot better than Neo did, right? What we're seeing is it double bottoming out over here already since February 6th and bounced heavily. So are we actually double bottoming? Yeah, it looks like we're actually double bottoming right here, okay, which is a good sign. But another bad thing about Ripple is that it's still into this descending triangle type of pattern, right? That's the exact pattern that it's in, if you guys have noticed right here. So despite us finishing the daily with a fairly bullish sign, there's still needs a lot of work and confirmation for it to be on an uptrend. On the 6 hour with 1 hour to go, we're already getting two gigantic wicks that's rejected at the 51 or the 21 EMA there. The 4 hour chart is nasty, guys. It's got, look at this candle. It's really nasty right now with those tweezers going upwards. So if Bitcoin does correct, expect Ripple to correct with it as well. Do we get 5 waves? Yeah, we actually got 5 beautiful waves going up here as well for Ripple. Okay, I know I said I wouldn't do Elliott wave analysis, but at the beginning of the impulse waves, it's pretty useful to do, I have to admit. Okay, so now we're just waiting for a correction as well. This was where the hard support was, around 59 cents that I identified before. We're just going to take our Fibonacci retracement tool right here, and with Fib retracement, we go up to the top, and we see the very low end. It could reach 59. Okay, but realistically, it'll bounce anywhere between 59 and the 382 Fib level at 62 cents. So we look at the 30-minute MACD, it's probably ready to cross over just like every other coin. Yeah, it's ready to cross over as well, but the question is, how much is it going to cross over, right? Just got to be extremely patient and just wait for things to happen on its own. So yeah, there you go. I've identified some possible corrective zones. It's up to you guys to hold yourselves accountable if something does go wrong. I'm trying to be here to give you guys another perspective. That's all, okay? But the most important perspective is, of course, your own, right? So other than that, have yourselves a great night, guys. I really appreciate an upvote on Steemit. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. If you guys have killed it in the market and you feel like buying me a lunch or a coffee, that's all that you guys are ever allowed to. Okay, don't ever make really large donations or something. That's ridiculous. If you guys ever want to show thanks, you know, just buy me a coffee or a lunch or something, donate something to Crypto Fund, and that's kind of it, guys. Other than that, have yourselves a great day. Take care. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye now.